Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. My opponent's gone first with Woken, which takes an A in front. I have a balanced-ish rack. The G and the U don't go well together, but the tiles are fairly bingo-y, so I'm just looking at the floaters in Woken to see if I can spot a bingo. I've got the OUS ending, so nearly rigorous. Can't see anything with the K. Ah, Sugaria. Fantastic. Well, I didn't think I had a bingo, but I do. Fantastic. Now I need to check the N because I do have the ING ending. So ING SUARR. No, I don't think so. Well, that's a terrific start. Always good to begin with a bingo. I'm not going to continue with a second one, given this rack. But I do have scoring tiles in the V and the H. I no longer have an A for going in front of Woken. Now through an I would have Thieved. 35 points for my opponent, so takes an A and an L and an S after it, and an O. But nothing that I've got. So certainly playing off the V is a priority. I've got two double-double lanes to consider where I can get a double-double without a bingo. That's row E through the A of Sugaria and column 5 through the O of Woken. Don't think I've got anything which fits the bill. I could play Heaved in row E. It's not a double-double, but it sorts the rack out. Or does a fairly decent job of sorting the rack out. It does retain the G. 26 points is good. And there isn't really a good keep with, or there isn't a great multi-tile keep with this rack, so I like the idea of playing off a lot of tiles. Heaved, I don't think takes a T in front, but Heave does. Not great. Duplicate tiles, quite a long way from a bingo. I do have the A for the Awoken hook, but that's not a particularly hot hook unless I have a bingo because it's such a long way to get to the double word squares. Kem takes an O and an S after it. Through a G, I have Geiger bit. Again, I'm looking to play off a lot of tiles because there's no good multi-tile keep. So I could play Tibia, which again keeps the G, which is annoying because that's just not a great bingo-y tile. I can play that at D1. Only 21 points. I'd like to do better than that. I can play it in row D above Heaved. 19 points. Still pretty dismal. I'm only 1 point ahead at the moment. So it's a very close game. Now my A can go next to the Z, so I could play down a word beginning A, B, A, G or A, T. So if I had a D, I could play Abide. Well, annoyingly, I can't see a play which sorts out the duplicates in that spot. So I shall look elsewhere. Can't see anything through the B of Kemb. Well, I'm thinking about playing bait down here. Doubles the B. Sorts out the duplicates. And it's 23 points. Great, I draw the first blank and I've got the QU combination, which is a good pair to have. So I've got quoting, and Kemb taking an O means that plays in row L. It also plays in column 2 alongside the I and T of bait. It is possible that both those spots could be blocked, but at the moment they are available. I can't see anywhere else to play quoting. Through an R I would have talking. Now I was just looking in row C to see if I can play through the U of sugaria, given that Zo takes an O after it. Out quoting is good. Great, my quoting spots stay available. Has my opponent provided anywhere new? Don't think so. So this has got to be, or is the higher scoring, I think. Well, maybe it won't be, because the Q effectively gets tripled in column B. Let me see what this scores. So that's 97, which is great. Now quoting in the other spot. $101. 97 or 101. Quoting down here puts the G here. That's not particularly dangerous. I'm going to go for the points. And it's possible my opponent doesn't know the Kembo hook, so that will remain available for me. Quoting 101. Only one vowel. Quite a nice rack apart from that. But I don't think I have a bingo, and I don't have an O for going after Kemb. I can't use the G of quoting, but that's not a particularly helpful tile. I could play limbs, L-I-M-N-S, at D1. The second S isn't particularly helpful. Only 21 points. The M is my only scoring tile. That could go in front of the M of Kemb, but I don't have anything to go in front of the B. My opponent's provided no more vowels. Now, what about using the Z by playing in row C through that U? So I could play minus. £17 points, not great. I do have the I of quoting I can play through. So I could play Myrin. Or I could play limb in that spot. Or limbs. Limbs here is going to leave the best rack leave. IRS, I think, is the best rack leave. Only 14 points, but I'm struggling to get above 20 elsewhere. And always with an inferior rack. I don't think this is the best play. But this is a sort of rack where you can spend a lot of time over and not improve it very much. Wow, brutal pickup. Having kept IRS, I draw 2 more I's. I have no scoring tiles. I do have a 90-point lead, which is good. I could play irid in column 13, but that's placing an I next to a double letter square in a triple word square lane for only 10 points, so it's probably better to change than do that. I certainly want to play off 2 I's. The duplicate R isn't a disaster. Now, can I play through the B of Chem? With no high-scoring tiles on my rack, I'm looking on the board for high-scoring tiles. I can't make any use of the Z. In any event, my opponent's just gone there. So I'm looking to play off 2 I's. I've seen irid in column 13, that's only 10 points, I'd rather change. Well, there is a fancy word I can play in row K. I can play Spiri, S-B-I-R-R-I. 16 points. Probably is better than changing. Painful as it is to play off my S for less than 20 points. Or what about Iris down here? Iris and sheaved. Rack leaves okay. Just above 20 points. Yeah, I think I prefer this. I'm just pausing in case there's a way of playing off one more vowel, but I don't think there is. Through a U, I would have cultivar and curvital. Ah, I have vertical, column 12, fantastic. Nice bingo by my opponent, 79 points. But from the misery of the last rack, I'm able to bingo with this one. And I spent a while on the last rack, so I think I'll get this down. I don't think there are other lanes which are going to score more. 66 points, not a great score, but it is a bingo, and I'm only 15 points ahead, so this is going to put me 80 points ahead. My opponent's played the second blank. 21 tiles in the bag, 7 on my opponent's rack. I've drawn both Ys, but the board is tightening up a little bit now. And looking at the remaining tiles, no blanks, no S's. And no R's. So the bag is not as bingo-y, or the unseen tiles are not as bingo-y as they could be, which is to my advantage. What I'd like to have now is a run of high-scoring tiles and scores of 30 or 40 points. I've got the F, and I can place that on the end of sow to make south. It would be good if I had a play which came down through the ID, but I don't think I have. Now I'm wondering what goes in front of Iris. Well, rather than go through every tile, it's better just to look at the tiles on my rack, and I certainly don't have anything there. Now, what about playing through the first E of sneer onto the triple word square? I could play Iry, E-Y-R-Y. That would be 30 points. Great, my opponent's changed. Fantastic. Pretty balanced rack leave, and 30 points, exactly what I was looking to achieve. Well, I draw no more high-scoring tiles, but I've still got the F that I retained from the previous go. My lead at the moment is 110 points. I can play Foid in column 10, which is great because it places the F on the triple letter square and it splits up the duplicate O, and that stays available. 22 points for my opponent. I'm just pausing in case I can use the J to good effect. I don't think I can. 34 points, excellent. I have 10 to go. Does that play anywhere? Probably not. The board is blocked. Ah, but I have ottering in row N making nu and st. Fantastic. Does ottering have any anagrams? Don't know. Jotting doesn't quite fit in column 1. And now I also have ottering in column 10 through the R of sneered, but both of those spots could be blocked. There are tempting places elsewhere, such as the C of vertical onto the triple word square and the J of jeer. Great! My bingos remain available. Do I have anything through the F? No. 10 to go still goes nowhere. I don't think, or I haven't been able to think of an anagram of ottering. There may be one. And this should be enough to secure the win. Ottering 68. Well, pretty grim rack. Very vowel heavy, no scoring tiles, but it's the end of the game and I don't think my opponent can catch me. 35 for lax. Pretty decent remaining rack. You can see the remaining tiles at the bottom. One of those is in the bag. My opponent could have a bingo, but the only bingo lane is through the F. That won't secure the win. And in any event, I can't... Well, having said I can't see a bingo, there's half tone. Quite difficult to see. But I think as I'm so far ahead, I will concentrate on scoring. Now, can I play through the J and reach the triple word square? Well, I don't think I can. Slightly disappointing. I don't have anything which goes in front of Iris. I'm not sure there is anything. So, what about playing underneath the G of ottering? So that would have to begin U or A. I note that I have Duane on my rack, D-O-U-A-N-E. That would be a way of playing off a lot of tiles. No F for that. So back again to playing underneath ottering. I can play... Well, no I can't. I can't play anode. It's got to begin with an O or a U. Gosh, I think I might be stymied here as well. I don't want to spend too long on this move because my opponent is probably not having the best fun ever right now. So... Well, I'm actually struggling to find anywhere to go. This rack is more unsynergetic than I thought. Now, what about playing in column 5 parallel to chems, in which case I can score off the M and the B? Yeah. No, I was going to say Odia, that doesn't work. I've got nothing which goes in front of ER, so I'm stuck there with just double A. I might do this. 16 points. Have I missed anywhere? Heaps, or obviously better. Well, probably. And I have Duane again. Yeah, double A probably wasn't good. It was probably worth playing off more tiles. but I don't think it matters. Well, it certainly won't change the result of the game. £36 points for Lech. My opponent probably going out next go. And this is a move I probably should have played last go, but I didn't see it. Anode for 21. I have just a U left, but I'm expecting my opponent to go out. Yeah, Lino for 16. Pass to end the game. And the final score, 371 to my opponent, 483 to me, a winning margin of 112 points. Great game, let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. They played Woken, and I had Sugaria, which was the only bingo. My opponent has the Z, plays Zoe, and this was a tricky rack. I played Heaved for 26. I could have kept the E and played Hove for 24. Probably not much between those, but I think I may prefer Vegged to Heaved. I think HT possibly slightly better than GT. Anyway, not much between those plays. My opponent's rack, they play Kemb, and I do not have a good rack, lots of duplicates, and Bait was my play. My opponent's rack, they play Piped, and now I was fortunate to have Quoting for 101. My opponent's rack, do they have a bingo? Yep. Oedipian at B13 through the D of Piped, very difficult to see. Now I had my vowel Drought. A4 limbs. Ah, down here limbs and sheaved for 30 points. Wow, that's good. Instead, I played limbs for 14. Yeah, limbs at A4 would have been better. Now my opponent has the blank, and that looks pretty good. And yeah, quite a few bingos, but not particularly easy to see ones. I have a horrible rack, lots of eyes. Radii, I didn't see that. Yeah, I think that's the obvious play, radii for 12. For 12, keeping IRS. Yeah, instead I played Iris for 22, so I got 10 more points, which justifies sacrificing the S. But only just, so I think I prefer radii because there's not much between these plays, and if there's not much between plays, I would rather make the play that keeps the better rack lead, which in this case would have been radii. Great rack for my opponent. Sneered for 79. At this point I am 15 points ahead, but I'm fortunate in having vertical, which goes down. Not a nice rack for my opponent. They changed. Wow, Ferrety for 47 points. That's a lot. Where does that play? Across here, beginning underneath the E of Sneered. Ferrety. Great play, 47 points. Instead I played Irie for 17 points less, but a better rack lead. Certainly Ferrety was the better play, so well done if you spotted that. My opponent's rack. They played Gia. Now, what did I do here? Foyt for 34, that was my play. My opponent's rack. Let's see if they have a bingo. No. Core for 27, opening up additional floaters. Good play. And I have Ottering, which goes down for 68, which guaranteed the win. My opponent has the X. Plays Lax for 35, but I'm 130 points ahead. Now this is where I was at the end, and I played double A down here next to Kemb, and certainly Anode across here. is a lot better. If I'd played Anode, I would have kept AU, I would have drawn an A, and then I would have had AUA, which, for example, could have played down here, or somewhere else, hopefully. Anyway, I didn't play Anode, I played double A. This was my opponent's rack. They didn't have a bingo, and instead of being able to go out on this move, at double A meant that I couldn't. So I played Anode for 21, which enabled my opponent to then get an extra 16 points, possibly 18. So double A was an expensive error in terms of points, in terms of spread, but not in terms of winning the game. So that was a pretty exciting game. It was great to spot Sugaria from an unimpressive opening rack, and the other bingos, Quoting, Ottering and Vertical. Whenever you get 4 bingos in a game, it feels like a good game, because you get a sort of mini rush each time you play a bingo, and 4 bingos is pretty much as good as it gets for most games. 5 bingos is pretty rare. So I hope you enjoyed watching that video and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.